When President Trump announced a total and complete blockade of sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela, it marked a dramatic escalation in U.S.-Venezuela tensions, one that Caracas immediately framed as a blatant attack on national sovereignty. President Nicolás Maduro's government responded with fierce rhetoric. Venezuelan officials condemned the move as a violation of international law and free trade, an attempt by the U.S. to seize Venezuela's wealth and resources, a form of military aggression disguised as economic policy. In statements released by Caracas, Venezuela portrayed itself not as a weakened petrostate under pressure, but as a nation under siege by imperialist interference, asserting its right to control its oil, land, and maritime routes. Oil isn't just an export for Venezuela. It's the lifeblood of the country's economy, historically accounting for over 90% of its fiscal revenue and foreign exchange earnings. Maduro's reaction emphasized continued domestic oil production despite U.S. pressure, defiance in maintaining export operations where possible, claims that the blockade won't intimidate Caracas or halt its economy, at least for now. But under the surface, many Venezuelans and analysts see a potential deepening economic crisis, with fewer tankers willing to risk U.S. military action and oil revenues potentially collapsing further. A threat intensified by the blockade's targeting of sanctioned vessels used in shadow trading. Venezuela's response has gone beyond diplomacy. The government has mobilized its armed forces to protect shipping routes and called for international protests against what it describes as U.S. piracy. At the same time, global reactions have emboldened Caracas. Russia publicly warned the U.S. against making a fatal mistake, reaffirming support for Venezuela's sovereignty. China blasted the U.S. for bullying Caracas and endorsed Venezuela's right to defend itself. This international backing allows Venezuela to frame the confrontation as part of a broader struggle against great power coercion, also risking an armed confrontation between the U.S. Navy and the Venezuelan Navy, who will now sail alongside their oil tankers in international waters.